Okay. So good morning. So this will be our recorded discussion for the topic about entrepreneurship as if the planet mattered. So this will be a part of the coverage for semifinals. Actually, this is not yet all of the topic as of now. So I will still be uploading soon another recording about the last topic. Okay. So for now, why do we need to study this one? It is because actually entrepreneurship uh gave or paved the way why uh, we are ex we are experiencing crisis or environmental crisis. As you know, 'di ba, meron yung inaano si UN na may goal for 2030, and if hindi natin yon maabot or ma-achieve, irreversible na yon. And syempre tayo din as humans would be suffering the consequences. Okay, so let's start. So there's no avoiding it. Our planet is suffering in many ways, including climate change due to the increase in greenhouse gases, fluorocarbons depleting the ozone layer, acid rain and air pollutants, shortages of freshwater resources, overfishing, habitat destruction, and pollution in the marine environment, crop loss, and grazing depletion due to desertification and erosion, cutting down the world's tropical forests, leading to erosion and flooding, mass extinction of species, and the associated loss of genetic resources. Threats to human health from exposure to chemicals in production processes, products and consumption activities, and rapid population growth and migration. As you can see, lahat ng yan, it is, ang tawag ito, it is an output of development or industrialization, right? During the Industrial Revolution, andyan yung mga coals, yung paggamit ng mga resources such as coal na nag-emit ng harmful gases sa atmosphere. Kaya tayo nagsasuffer sa ngayon. Yung mga fluorocarbons, usually chemicals, yung mga siguro naman napag-aralan niyo nung elementary yan, yung CFC or chlorofluorocarbons. Before, when they produced air conditioners or refrigerators, it emits chlorofluorocarbons na kung saan ito ay nagdi-deplete or bumubuta sa ating ozone layer. Siyempre na dahil nga maraming chemicals din sa himpapawid, ito ay nagpro-produce ng acid rain and air pollutants. And because of acid rain, ibig sabihin, yes, merong rain, pero it is harmful. So, there are shortages of freshwater resources because it can be contaminated as well. Sabi nga, yes, majority ng ating earth ay tubig, pero kukonti yung percentage doon ng potable water supply. Kaya maraming hindi pa rin or maraming walang access sa malinis na tubig. Overfishing, habitat destruction, pollution of the marine environment. Of course, yung fishing industry, noon nauso yung mga dynamite fishing, yung mga coral reefs na destroyed dahil sa kagahaman ng mga tao nga. Dahil gusto nga nilang kumita. Crop loss and grazing depletion due to desertification and erosion, cutting down the world's tropical forest. So, deforestation, and pag walang puno, it will lead to erosion and flooding. Ano na yun yung, I forgot na yung mountain natin dyan sa ano. Pero, I think Sierra Madre, parang merong call na i-save yun kasi siya yung nag-protect din sa atin sa mga typhoons. And dapat hindi yon ma-deplete or hindi yon mawalan ng puno para at least ma-lessen din yung occurrence ng flooding dito sa Pinas. Lalo na ngayon na tayo ay napaka-vulnerable pagdating sa climate change. And then, mass extinction of species and the associated loss of genetic resources. Maraming mga birds or hayop, mga species, I think, na extinct na. And kaya nagpapatayo yung mga government natin, yung mga government agencies natin to protect these natural resources. Kasi kapag wala na yan, wala na, pag nawala na silang lahat, extinct na, hindi na sila marirevive, end na ng race nila, kumbaga. And threats to human health from exposures to chemicals in production processes, products, and consumption activities. So, nakachikahan ko yung mga students ko ng mga Chinese. Of course, naman sa China, dito, production industry sila. Kumbaga more on factories. So, according to them, napaka-polluted na lahat ng mga tabing dagat nila, hindi na talaga siya potable water. And at the same time, yung atmosphere, napaka-dumi. Na kung nagta-travel sila sa ibang bansa, nagugulat sila kung gaano ka-blue ang sky ng ibang bansa. Dahil pagdating sa kanila sa China, lalo na sa Beijing, gray ang gray ang skies. Grabe yung thickness ng smog. Pati yung may sinasabi silang parang PM, basta may PM something wherein yun yung dito. Yun yung way para measure yung pollutants sa atmosphere nila. Ayun. Another thing, yung mga parents doon, kinukuha or bumibili pa sila ng powdered milk sa ibang bansa, for example, New Zealand or what, dapat manufactured sa ibang bansa. Why? Kasi ayaw nilang bumili ng locally produced milk products nila. Why? Because they learned na nagkakaroon ng sakit yung mga anak or nagkakaroon ng contaminants. Parang hindi na safe para sa mga anak nila yung mga powdered or yung mga locally produced powdered milk products nila. So, ganun katindi yung nangyayari sa China. Yun yung, kumbaga, yes, second sila sa economy, pero ang laki din ng dito, impact sa kanila, negative effect sa kanila dahil sa industrialization. Anyway, so yun. What else? Rapid population growth and migration. Of course, kapag maraming, diba, survival of the fittest. As you know, sa ecology, kapag maraming, maraming inhabitants or maraming organisms sa isang ecosystem, anong nangyayari? Sila ay nagko-compete for the resources. Ganun din sa ating mga tao. So, it somehow it hastens the depletion of the natural resources. So, if we humans will not act, lalo na sa mga entrepreneurs, na patuloy na magdi-deplete or patuloy na i-exploit ang natural resources natin, masisira or in the long run, tayo din ang magsasuffer. Okay? So, the pursuit of economic growth is at the expense of the environment. Yung sinasabi natin. Again, the pursuit of economic growth is at the expense of the environment. Why? Of course, because we wanted to exploit the resources that we have. And dun tayo kikita yung mga ganid na kumita na walang pakialam sa environment. Ayan, sila yan. And that should change. That's why somehow in our lesson for today, as entrepreneurs, dapat maging aware kayo sa mga downsides ng industrialization, and why not think of a solution or contribute to the solutions itself para ma-alleviate yung mga consequences ng mga ginawa ng mga previous generations sa pag-exploit ng ating resources or environment. So, based in here, thousands of Indonesians are employed and many entrepreneurial families are coming out of poverty because of the enterprise. However, the result is an environmental disaster. Yet, deforestation by small-scale farming entrepreneurs represents over a third of the total global carbon emissions from deforestation and land degradation. So, again, kahit daw small-scale farming yan, but it represents over a third of the global carbon emission from deforestation. Siyempre, kailangan nilang, ano may deforestation? Puputol sila ng puno para magkaroon ng farms, para mas lumawak yung land para mag-yield or ng agriculture. Pero yun yung downside nga, yung carbon emissions sa paggagawa nila or sa pagkakat din ng, or siguro pagsusunog din ng forest fire para ma-deplete and land degradation. The fact is that around the world, economic growth and entrepreneurial activity are inextricably linked to global warming. So entrepreneurs in times of crisis. As President Kennedy once said, crisis means both danger and opportunity. Some of the most innovative ideas have emerged during times of crisis. Just because the world is experiencing a crisis doesn't mean that the spirit of innovation will. If the most famous theoretician of entrepreneurship, Joseph Schumpeter, were alive today, he would say that crises such as the GFC or global financial crisis and climate change clean the slate through creative destruction and create lasting positive change. Entrepreneurial organizations are the engines of job growth and create more jobs than large established organizations. In part, this is due to the fact that breakthrough inventions are contributed disproportionately by independent inventors and entrepreneurs. Indeed, rather than being interrupted by the global financial crisis, there was an increase in sustainable related programs as part of economic reform agendas. So anong ibig sabihin nito? Ironically, kapag nagkakaroon ng crisis, doon daw nagkakaroon ng growth sa entrepreneurship. Kagaya ng, sa global financial crisis na yan, climate change. Doon kasi nakakakita ng opportunity ang mga entrepreneurs na pwedeng i-grab. Okay? Take a look at the recent COVID-19 pandemic. Akala natin, di ba, mahihirapan ang tao or whatsoever. Pero as you can see, nagkaroon ng increase sa komersyo, nagkaroon ng increase sa pagpaput up ng mga small businesses. Why? Because there is also a triggering factor from the government. Because the government also wants the economy to grow from that down point in time. Parang gusto niyang umangat ang economy. So, meron ding support from the government. Kaya nagkakaroon ng boom sa small or MSMEs or pagpapatayo ng mga small businesses. But anyway, we will be tackling that further as we go on. So it is no surprise, sabi niya dito, it is no surprise that some of the highest rates of entrepreneurial activity occur during financial crisis and economic dislocation caused by natural catastrophes. Crises seem to spur innovation, not stifle it. Ano ibig sabihin nun? It spurs innovation. Kumbaga, ang tawag dito, I forgot, oh my God. It make it, parang to make it fast or nagpaparapid ng development o nagpaparapid ng innovation. Ayan. And not to stifle or not to stop it. So, examples, during the Great Depression, General Electric introduced the fluorescent light bulb, which has twice the lifespan of incandescent lighting but uses half the power. Ray Kroc, if you remember your Ray Kroc, your movie thing na pina-assignment ko. Ray Kroc opened the first McDonald's during the Eisenhower recession. Eisenhower, ito yung president ng US. Karoon lang ng recession during ng time niya. During the Vietnam War and the 1973 oil crisis, Bill Gates and Paul Allen formed Microsoft. During the Reagan recession of the early 1980s, Microsoft introduced Word. During the first Gulf War, the World Wide Web and Apple PowerBook debuted. When the dot-coms crashed and the 9/11 attacks took place, if you remember the September 11 attacks, yung pinabagsak ng terrorist yung Twin Towers, the iPod came onto the market. So ano yung mga dot-coms crash? Ito yung daw yung period early in the year 2000 when share prices suddenly went down as hundreds of companies doing businesses on the internet failed or lost most of the value of their shares. And during the GFC of 2007 to 2009, Facebook and Twitter grew to become global corporate giants. So as you can see, merong positive side kapag nagkakaroon ng crisis. Kasi nga, nag-i-spur or nag-i-initiate siya ng innovation at pinapabilis niya yung development and not to stifle it. Why? Because may kakulangan pagdating sa mga time na yan. Okay? And yun nga, nakita ng entrepreneurs yung opportunity para kunin yun. Next, Kaufman Foundation says that more than 50% of the fast-growing and largest companies of today were found during times of crisis. Launching a new company during global upheavals does not actually put companies at a disadvantage, as many might suspect. In fact, at the height of the crisis in 2008, more low overhead, low revenue businesses were launched than in previous years. The rate of entrepreneurship actually went up during the GFC. As amazing as it may sound, entrepreneurs increased during civil wars, economic dislocations, and natural disasters. When recession rears its ugly head to sap the spirit of an economy, okay, it is entrepreneurship, often with government stimulus, that infuses vigor back into the economy and society. That's what economist Carl Schramm has observed on the implication of growth and recovery from recession in the business cycle. Schramm lists 4 reasons. Ano yon? First, the explosion of creative impulse that leads to innovation. Second is scarcity in available options. Third is lower operating costs. And fourth, severely hit behemoths or large corporations. So, yung mga yan daw, mga yan, kahit pangit yung nangyari nga sa, sabi nga natin, sa crisis, nagkakaroon pa rin ng opportunity. Meron pa rin positive side ang nangyayari. Okay? Siguro tignan niyo rin yung nangyari din sa atin sa COVID-19 pandemic. Ano yung biglang nag-boom dito? More on digital products. Diba? Nagkaroon ng innovation pagdating sa mga delivery services. What else? Parang mas tinake advantage natin yung technology. Ngayon, based sa observations ko din. If you have some more ideas, you may share it in class next time. So could this also be true for entrepreneurs within the crisis of climate change? For economists of the entrepreneurial economy, downturns can act as a good cold shower for the economic system, releasing capital and labor from dying sectors and allowing newcomers to recombine them in imaginative new ways. Economic downturns can have positive effects. They can force companies to increase their efficiency, cut waste, and strive to do things in smarter ways. In such times, innovation is the single most important condition for transforming crisis into an opportunity. Bakit? Kasi yun nga may kakulangan. So, kailangan nilang gumawa ng paraan or mag-innovate. Diba? Para mas mag-improve or mas maging efficient. Mas konting resources na makukuha or magagamit. Although entrepreneurs must take a share of the responsible for global warming, there are also agents of change who may help to turn the situation around. Entrepreneurs respond best to business logic, and lately this logic has been music to our ears. The benefits of strong early action on climate change outweigh the costs. So updating this in 2014, Stern and his colleagues in the Global Commission of the Economy and Climate Club published Better Growth, Better Climate, Green Climate Economy Report. The latest thinking is that governments and businesses can now improve economic growth by reducing carbon emissions. Rapid technological innovation and new investment in infrastructure are making it possible today to tackle climate change at the same time as improving economic performance. There is no need to choose between fighting climate change or growing the world's economy. Again, there was what a breakthrough wherein they discovered na on how to improve or on how to help solve climate change. How? By reducing carbon emissions. So before, right, during the Industrial Revolution, carbon emissions were rampant. Kaya nga na-destroy yung mga, grabe yung pagdideplete ng ozone layer and so on. But now, maybe because of the development of technology as well, or maybe due to some inventions or some awareness on how to use clean energy or green energy, diba? Then they found a way, an innovative way, sorry, innovative way on how to reduce carbon emissions. Um, uh, it's a win-win situation. Bakit? Nag-reduce ka na nga ng nag-reduce ka na nga ng um, ang tawag dito, carbon emissions, nakatulong ka pa sa climate change, and nakatulong ka pa sa economy. Diba? Yan. Finding a pathway to your climate resilient future. So this logic shows that entrepreneurs can seize the opportunity towards climate resilient pathways. The world is threatened by multiple stressors that affect the Earth's resilience, the ability to recover readily. Stressors are all challenges and opportunity for the type of entrepreneurial personality who spots unfilled needs and gaps in the market or the pains. Do you remember? Medyo nag-overlap ang marketing and entrepreneurship. Why? The goal of marketing is to satisfy the needs and wants of the customers. But how can you do that? It's by identifying the pains that are being experienced by your target market. Ano yung mga pains? Ito yung mga problema or ito yung mga kakulangan sa services or products na available as of now. So, hindi naman yan perfect talaga. So, why not find the pain points? Diba? Maybe you can improve a product or service. However, sabi nga, by fulfilling the needs or the gaps of these pains, somehow, yung actions ng ating entrepreneurs ay nakakasira sa environment. Okay? Ayan. So, opportunity space, these are decision points and pathways that can lead to possible futures and venture ideas that have different levels of risk and resilience. Entrepreneurs are good at choosing pathways to profit and prosperity, but some of them can lead to lower resilience, while others can lead to a more resilient world. Again, ano yung resilient? Ito yung ability ni Earth, ability ng ating mundo para magkaroon na o madaling maka-recover. In this figure, figure 3.2, this is our world as of now. Okay? As you can see, the red one are the biophysical stressors. Resilience space, ito yung kaya daw niyang yung level kung kaya niyang i-absorb yung mga pag-exploit or whatsoever, or pag-deplete, and social stressors. Now, look at this one. These are the entrepreneurs. For every turning point, these are the decision points. It can lead to a positive one, wherein a green one, it means mas madaling maka-recover ang Earth dito sa decision na to, or hindi. Ibig sabihin, nakakasira siya sa environment. Pag red. Pag pinagpatuloy mo yung green na yan, punta tayo sa una. It says, what? High resilience. It is the green part, and the biophysical stressors would be lesser. This is what we wanted to have in the future. Our goal sana. But then of course, hindi naman para-parehas ang entrepreneurs. May mga iba ganid or may mga iba ay walang pake. So their decisions may lead to this one and sana hindi naman. And that's why we, the educational institutions would like to educate you, make you learn about the consequences of your actions in the future. Once maybe, malay nyo, maging CEO kayo or whatsoever. Or maging owner kayo ng isang business. Ay, papaano, maging aware kayo sa pwedeng mangyari sa lahat ng business decisions ninyo. Okay? So again, ito sana yung ideal. At wag na sana nating pabutin dito sa low resilience and high risk. As you can see, napaka-liit, napaka-thin ng green part. Wala na yan. Kumbaga, there's no turning back na yan. Okay? Now, climate change effects for entrepreneurs. So, let's take a look at the situation in the Asia Pacific. So climate change means human activity that alters the composition of the global atmosphere. Climate change is already having an impact in the Asia Pacific region. As it intensifies, climate change will cause increased disruption and instability, affecting millions of people. Diba? Sa atin pa nga lang, diba? Vulnerable tayo sa climate change. Kaya, lagi tayong din ng El Nino, La Nina, excessive rainfall, excessive flooding. We are really affected. The Philippines is really affected by it. Kumbaga ramdam natin yung climate change na yan. A tremendous change, next one pa lang. Next factor would be population. A tremendous change has occurred since the Industrial Revolution. While it had taken all of the human history until around 1800s for the world population to reach 1 billion, the second billion was achieved in only 130 years. Third would be 30 years, fourth in 15 years, fifth billion in only in 13 years. And as of 2015, the world population is about 7.3 billion. Why? Of course, nang dahil sa technology, nang dahil sa development, gumaganda ang buhay ng mga tao. Ibig sabihin, nag-expand or nagle-lengthen ang lifespan ng mga tao. Okay? So, there are some interesting dynamics when one compares population to entrepreneurial activity. Populous countries have higher rates of entrepreneurial activity. Yun daw yung kagandahan. What do you mean? Pag mataas daw ang population, okay, ibig sabihin, mataas daw yung rate ng entrepreneurial activity. However, sad to say, many entrepreneurs who launch businesses in these countries are called necessity entrepreneurs. Ibig sabihin, nagla-launch lang sila ng business dahil wala na silang choice. No choice na sila. Kailangan nila kung mabuhay. Take a look at table 3.1. Asa ng Pinas? Pangalawa sa Thailand. Philippines as of 2030 has 105 million people as of 2014. Entrepreneurs percent of adults, 18.4. So, second tayo. Marami daw, kaya nga malaki ang percentage ng MSMEs dito sa Philippines. Majority. Okay. Opportunity in crisis. Where most people see chaos, entrepreneurs see 8 billion business opportunities. Especially true when we look at population problems. Here are some examples. Entrepreneurial activities opportunities due to overpopulation. Population pressures have opened up a wide variety of opportunities. Solutions are needed for the following: Of course, dahil may overpopulation, kakulangan ng fresh drinking water, waste management, syempre, ang daming pollutants, air and water pollution, soil contamination, fighting infectious diseases, HIV, AIDS, polio, ito, ang laki ng kita ng pharmaceutical companies lagi. Laki nga ng kinita din nga nila sa mga vaccines natin nung nagkaroon ng COVID, di ba? Yun, nakakuha silang opportunity. Combating unemployment and crime rates, improving food varieties, and renewable energy resources or sources, introducing family planning, providing universal education, and promoting non-polluting urban and long-distance transportation. What about for youthful population? Here, youth of market opportunities are seemingly endless and perfect for small and medium-sized overseas suppliers. First would be social internet, music, aftermarket support, sports, headhunters, fashion and accessories, cheap cars, environmental friendly products, interactive media and gaming, electronic toys, creative and educational products, and personal communication devices. What about for the aging population? Ito sa youth, kabataan, dito sa mga matatanda, aging. Age-defying and age-by-design products. Take a look at this one for cosmetics. Conditions that afflict the elderly. Conditions that afflict the elderly such as dental care, renal care, hearing aids, orthopedics, and cardiology. Travel, relationship building networks, nostalgia products, food preparation services, medical and health provision, labor-saving technologies, holiday home construction, regenerative medicine, and biotech and age-related drugs. I want you to read this one about the toilopreneurs in India, and I will be asking you questions about this case. Now, next one will be about water. Sabi nga natin, di ba, majority nga ng earth ay tubig. Pero, ayun lang, hindi lahat ay potable water. Hindi lahat ay malinis para inumin. Meron tayong kakulangan sa supply ng tubig. The real tragedy is the fact that water crisis has on the everyday lives of people who are blighted by waterborne diseases. Waterborne diseases, yung mga sakit, mga cholera, mga sakit na nakukuha sa tubig. Mga amoebiasis, ayan. Usually, yung mga nagsasuffer ay yung mga nagli-live or yung mga ang tag dito? Mga nag-thrive, ayan, nagli-live, ayan. Citizens or mga tao na tumitira sa mga degraded and dangerous environments. So only a small proportion of the world's water is available for human use, and much of it is used for sanitation industry and irrigation. Where do entrepreneurs fit into the crisis? It's a double-edged sword. On the positive side, small-scale local water providers, also known as hydropreneurs, serve an estimated 50% of the urban population. Ito yung mga nagbibenta ng mga water refilling station, mga beverages na what else? Mga beverages na nagbebenta ng bottled water or purified drinking water. Their obstacle is lack of financing. But then on the negative side, it is it's worth noting that some other waterpreneurs are responsible for egregiously wasteful commodities, such as the bottled water. Bottled water is more expensive than petrol and contributes greatly to greenhouse emissions. Bakit? Yung pag-produce, yung packaging niya na plastic bottles, and after that, pag natapos inumin, tatapon na lang. Also consider the emissions involved in the shipping. Emission sa shipping daw, pag-deliver ng mga bottles long distances. Keeping them refrigerated. And finally, syempre, of course, it consumes energy, electricity. And finally, transporting them for recycling or landfill. Landfill, kapag waste na siya, ubos na yung container niya. Bottled water increases the gap between the water haves and the water have-nots. Ano ibig sabihin dyan? In developing economies, such as, for example, in the Philippines, we are just a developing country. Ayan. Yeah. Ano na yan? Tayo as a developing country, tayo daw ay, sabi dito, magkakaroon ng increase ng gap between the water haves and water have-nots. Tayo na nakakabili ng bottled water dahil nga mahal siya, or diba, dapat ang tubig libre, pero binibenta. So, paano na lang yung mga nasa laylayan, kumbaga, paano na lang yung mga mahihirap na hindi afford makabili ng clean water. Kaya, lumalaki daw yung gap between water haves and water have-nots. Next is biodiversity. The worst thing that can happen is not energy depletion, economic collapses, limited nuclear war, or conquest by a totalitarian government. As terrible as these catastrophes would be for us, they can be repaired within a few generations. The one process ongoing that will take millions of years to correct is the loss of genetic and species diversity by the destruction of natural habitats. This is the folly that our descendants are least likely to forgive us. Anong sabi? Hindi daw, ang worst thing na pwedeng mangyari, hindi daw yung energy depletion, hindi daw energy collapses, hindi daw nuclear war, kundi yung pagiging extinct ng mga species. Kasi kapag once nawala yan, wala na talaga, hindi na sila marirevive. Para na lang din silang dinosaurs na wala na sa mundo. Biodiversity means the variety of life in all its forms. Anthropocene extinction event, it means the ongoing mass extinction of species caused by human beings. Ano yun? Mga poaching, yung mga illegal hunters, ayan, yung mga feeling nila, ayan, mga yun, tag ito, mga nag-smuggle ng mga ganyan na mga protected species. Ayan, actually that is, anong tag dito? A crime. Humans' inventiveness and enterprising spirit raise cities and industries, which has made previous living spaces uninhabitable for thousands of species. So, ayun nga. Dahil sa development na naman, dahil sa deforestation, dahil gusto nating magpatayo ng maraming building, factory, and whatsoever, nawawalan ng habitat ang ating mga hayop or other species, which causes them to be extinct. Gladly, di ba? In fairness naman sa Australia, protected ang kanilang wildlife. Pinapabayaan nila yung mga kangaroos nila or whatsoever na punta sila sa highway, talagang hindi nila guguluhin or hindi nila kakantihin. So, dapat ganun. Ganun sa lahat, sana. Food. The human right to food is embodied in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Everyone has the right to a standard of living adequate for the health and well-being of himself and his family, including food. This right is most endangered in low-income, food-deficit countries. Hunger and malnutrition are still the #1 risks to health worldwide. There certainly is a wealth of opportunities here for entrepreneurs. So, marami actually, sabi na natin may kakulangan sa food, or may kakulangan sa healthy food. Okay? Medyo maswerte naman tayo kasi agriculture country tayo. kaya natin or may access tayo sa healthy or fresh vegetables and fruits, livestock, what else yung sa mga fisheries na fresh na mga seafood so whatsoever. Pero sa ibang bansa kasi may mga abundant ang food pero puro junk food. At ang masaklap may mga iba na mataas ang percentage ng food wastage. Most probably I will be posting a video on that, a video of the United Nations about food wastage, and yeah, that will be part of your activity for the next meeting, okay? So yan po. Greenhouse gases and temperature. The first decade of the 21st century was the warmest on record for the entire world. In Australia, for example, temperatures have become so extreme that the Bureau of Meteorology had to add a new color to the top of its scale, a suitably incandescent purple. What causes these temperatures? Global warming produces too much carbon dioxide. Yan pa ang kailangan nating i-tackle. Think about the entrepreneurs and their inventions and that depend on fossil fuels. Airplanes, cars, electrical power plants, paper, plastic, lahat ng yan galing sa fossil fuels. And do everything in greenhouse gases. So that's it. That's for the topic about entrepreneurship as if the planet mattered. So I will be again uploading an additional video recording, okay, for the last topic in semifinals. So if you have questions, you can ask in class. Okay, bye-bye.